America. Good Wednesday afternoon to you. I'm Josh Croup, coming to you from the 13 Action News digital studios. The stage is set for the first GOP presidential debate tonight at 9 Eastern in Milwaukee. That is where we find 13 Action News Chief White House Correspondent John Decker. John, no Donald Trump tonight. He's the clear front runner, so what's the purpose of this?
Well, there's a twofold purpose in these debates. For the candidates, those 8 candidates who've made the debate stage, it's an opportunity to introduce themselves to voters, to talk about what they've done in the past that makes them qualified to be the Republican nominee, and ultimately, if they're elected president, what they would do for the next 4 years. And for viewers who will tune in to watch this debate, it's an opportunity to learn more about these candidates. It's really the biggest opportunity for these candidates to narrow the gap. Donald Trump, of course, is the front runner for the Republican nomination, so it's a big opportunity, a first opportunity to close that gap.
And given that Donald Trump is leading by double digits in most polls, John, who's going to be on the stage tonight that we should pay attention to?
There are 8 candidates who have qualified to be on this debate stage tonight. There are qualifications that the RNC has put out in terms of the number of donors that candidates must have, at least 20,000 from 20 different states, and also registering at least 1% in the polls. So who are those candidates? Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is the leading candidate on this debate stage, given that Donald Trump is not here. Vivek Ramaswamy in most polls is trailing Ron DeSantis, but by a significant margin. Chris Christie, the former governor from New Jersey, also will be on that debate stage, as will former Vice President Mike Pence. Then we have 2 South Carolinians on that stage. Nikki Haley, the former South Carolina governor, Tim Scott, the current senator from South Carolina, former Arkansas governor Asa Hutchinson, and lastly, Doug Burgum, who's the current governor from North Dakota.
Let's talk about the former president. How will his absence affect things tonight?
Oh, he's the elephant in the room. Donald Trump is not here tonight. In fact, on social media, he indicated that he likely will not take part in any of these Republican presidential debates. But he's the elephant in the room, given the fact that he is the front runner. Most polls show him leading by double digits nationally, if not in individual state polls. And there will be a significant number of questions that will be posed to these candidates on the debate stage that will be asked how their position differs from the front runner, Donald Trump. So I think he'll play an outsized role at this first Republican presidential debate.
Outside of talking about the former president tonight, what do you expect to hear in terms of topics, and how are the candidates going to try and differentiate themselves?
Well, it's Fox News that is hosting this particular debate. The moderators, Brett Baer and Martha McCallum, and clearly they're going to focus on issues that delve into policy, but also politics. So on the policy front, they'll talk about domestic policy, their prescriptions for dealing with the record high inflation that we've seen over the course of the past few years, their ways of getting the U.S. In a position where the U.S. has significant economic growth. And then on foreign policy, oh my gosh, there's a gamut of things that will be discussed, including the war in Ukraine, U.S. relations with China, North Korea. So those are the topics certainly that will be asked of these candidates.
13 Action News Chief White House Correspondent John Decker in Milwaukee for us today. John, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Something else that we'll watch for tonight at 9 o'clock is when the debate airs on Fox News. Also going to be when former President Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson air an interview that'll air on Twitter, now known as X. So they're going to release that interview at 9 o'clock to kind of counter-program this. And as you heard John say, the former president has said he won't commit to doing any of the debate. So that's coming up tonight at 9 o'clock as well. He'll very much still be in the spotlight in the news cycle. Also expected to turn himself in Fulton County tomorrow. Today, Rudy Giuliani, former mayor of New York, and the former president's attorney turning himself in to authorities in Fulton County. So Donald Trump's still very much going to be in the news cycle and dominate that no matter what happens or does not happen tonight. Here's the podium. In case you missed it, the podium order. Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy will be front and center there in Milwaukee as the two front runners in the polls outside of the former president, of course. On the end there, in spot number 7, Asa Hutchinson, who barely qualified toward the end of this, and then Doug Burgum, the North Dakota governor on the right there. Some headlines about him today. Hasn't had a lot of attention in this campaign cycle, but was apparently taken to a Milwaukee emergency room yesterday after hurting himself. His staff apparently were playing a pickup basketball game. So unknown if the 67-year-old governor is going to pivot tonight, if he's going to stand for the whole 2 hours, what's going to happen with that. So if you're looking for any day of storylines, that would be it. Here's the lineup again that you can expect to see tonight, 9 o'clock again. That first GOP presidential debate airs on Fox News, and then we'll have to see, of course, how many candidates end up dropping out and when they end up dropping out after tonight's debates. That is going to do it for this special report on Action News Now. Coming up top of the hour in about 10 minutes, Action News at noon with Christian Brown. Derek Witt has you covered as well. A first alert weather day issued for tomorrow. The high heat is rolling in already today. For all of us at 13 Action News, I'm Josh Croup saying good day from Toledo.